everybody, and welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for tuning in. In tonight's video, I just wanted to go over some helpful information about the female guppy that will either act as a nice refresher or give you some good advice for the future. And for those of you who don't know, the guppy is considered the million fish because it can and often does overpopulate your tanks. So if you're wanting and considering a tank size, I would go with at least a 10-gallon. These 5-gallon tanks are a little small for a guppy for what I'm intending to do in the future. I am wanting to create a really beautiful female line. So I do wish that I could have gotten a slightly larger tank. But guppies, they do have a lifespan about 1 to 2 years. They can grow about 1 to 2 inches. They are typically a little bit larger than their male counterparts with a little less coloration, so you do want to go by their finnage to sex them. Females have a triangular fin. If you look towards their belly, it's a triangular type fin. The males, if he'll cooperate, have a stick-like type fin that's called a gonopodia, and that's how they mate. The females will have a gravid spot towards their back by that anal fin that darkens, and that's meaning that she's at some point during her pregnancy. When you start to see that really darken up, the females will get a really boxy appearance, and it seems like they do kind of like this one up here. They do kind of hang out at the surface a little bit more, and she doesn't eat as often. But you can tell between that one with the yellow tail and her at the top how boxy she looks. And her gravid spot, if this would cooperate, is a lot darker. Let me go over here to the other tanks, show you these guys. Once they reach maturity, which is about 3 months in age, you can start having fry. They are capable of having fry before that, but it's really stressful on your females to mate them earlier than 3 months. That's that little lady. Their fry size, it seems like the older they are, the bigger their fry size, their brood size is. And they do have the ability to hold sperm. So if you keep them in a tank with a male at any given point in their life, they will probably have fry from that male. And it seems like the most current male that they mate with is the one that the fry will resemble the strongest. But if they are not in a tank with any males, that does ensure the survival of their species, that they are able to do this. In nature, guppies are lower on the totem pole. They have a lot of predators, so to make sure that their species survives, they have a lot of fry very quickly, which is on average once a month. If you keep them in a temperature a little closer to 80, it seems like this tank is just really hard to see through. If you keep them closer to a temperature of 80, it seems like they breed a little faster and they mature a little faster. But given that they will die a little faster too, unfortunately, it seems like you speed up that rate. Let me go back over here to this tank too and show you these. This tank has the one with my super pretty female in it. She's hanging up at the top. But usually their finnage is a little smaller than the males. The males do have larger caudal fins and tail fins. I'll show you that. And there's a shrimp right there. They're doing pretty good. I've lost about 4 total. I would say I did put some caves in a few of my tanks. I've got to go back and get some more for them. You do want to keep your females in at least a 2-to-1 ratio with your males, just because with their mating style, the males don't leave them alone. They have a consensual mating style and kind of a sneak attack. So you want to keep your females in a little higher number over your males just so they kind of get some relief. Otherwise they will just get hounded. They do like harder water with a slightly higher pH. It seems like the guppies do really well if you keep your pH about 7.8. Seems like they do pretty well. Anything in a harder water with a higher pH, they do really well. I feed them a little less more often. I've been feeding them about 3 times a day, mostly flakes, but I do put in frozen brine shrimp every couple of days, and it kind of acts like a treat. I've done the frozen blood worms, and they did like them. It's just it made a mess of the tank. So I usually try to stick to flakes and frozen food every couple of days. It seems like they do really well. And for your fry, if you do have intentions of breeding them in the future, you do want to have a lot of cover for the females to hide in and the fry to hide in. They do have a knack for eating their young, but if you keep them well fed and have lots of hiding places for them, I haven't lost very many due to that issue. You just want to make sure if your fish are starving, they'll probably be more apt to eat their babies. And it does, in the past, as my females have aged and they've come to the end of their life, after they've had their last brood of fry, they got a pretty good S-curve in their spine before they passed away. So that's something to look for too. I'm not sure if I just need more calcium carbonate in my water to help them, or if it's just something that's inevitable and that will happen. But you can tell those orange males are really trying to get those females' attention by displaying their fins and kind of swimming with them. That's a mating behavior. But that is the female right there that I'm hoping to breed in the future and make just a really good, beautiful line of females. Her fins are a little larger than the most that I've had in the past, so that's my long-term goal. But if you guys have any comments over female guppies, leave them below. If you like the content, please subscribe. And thank you so much for tuning in and helping build this channel up. But thank you again.